My beloved, my child of light, do you feel that? That gentle trembling in your chest, that strange mix of warmth and urgency flowing through your veins. That's not your imagination. That's heaven leaning closer, touching your soul, whispering your name in a voice you haven't heard in years, but somehow remember. I, Archangel Michael, have been sent with an order from God Himself. Not a request, not a suggestion, but a divine command. Open this with your whole heart, and don't you dare let your mind wander. You have skipped too many messages before, my dear one. And every time you skipped, a blessing you didn't even know you were waiting for was delayed. Tonight, that cannot happen. Tonight, something will move in your house. Something heaven has been arranging quietly for so long. If you close this message or ignore it, you will bruise the heart of the one who made you. And I cannot bear to watch that happen again. You think you know what tonight means, but you don't. Tonight is not just the span of hours between sunset and sunrise. Tonight is a door, a spiritual window so narrow that once it closes, it will never open again in your lifetime. God has been pacing in the throne room, watching the minutes bleed away. He said to me, Michael, my child is distracted by too many voices. Cut through the noise. Remind them what's at stake. So I came not as a vision you'll forget, not as a dream you'll question, but in the form of this very moment, this very message so alive it's almost breathing beside you. My child, if you could see the light gathering outside your home right now, you would not blink for fear of missing it. Before I go further, I must tell you this. Not as a trick, not as a performance, but because your next choice will ripple through eternity. If you stop here, if you scroll away, the threads God has been weaving will tangle. But if you stay, if you open yourself, if you let these words pass not just through your eyes, but into the deepest rooms of your spirit, you will unlock something heaven has been guarding like a treasure. My beloved, do not confuse this with those fleeting feelings you've had before. This is the moment heaven prepared before you were even born. And listen closely. Because this is where your heart must lean in. There's someone in your house tonight who is not supposed to be there. No, I do not mean in a physical sense that should make you fear, but in the spiritual sense that should make you rise. A presence has been waiting for permission to touch something that belongs to you, and God has delayed them until this very night. That delay ends soon. The clock is ticking and your awareness is the only thing that can shift what happens next. Heaven is watching to see if you will be awake enough, brave enough, obedient enough to meet this moment with open hands. You've been told before that God's timing is perfect, but my beloved, His timing is also sharp. When the second hand reaches a certain point, heaven does not negotiate. The angels take their places. The air changes and the unseen moves into the scene. That's what's about to happen where you live. Do you feel the electricity in the air? That's not the weather. That's not coincidence. That's the kingdom pressing in closer than your breath. God sent me to give you this order because He knows your heart bends toward Him. But He also knows your mind gets tangled in hesitation. Tonight hesitation is dangerous. And if you wonder, Michael, why me? Why my house? Why now? Let me tell you what the Father told me. He said, because this one is mine, and the plans I have for them require a shift in their very walls. The blessing that's arriving is too holy to land in a distracted place. You must prepare yourself not in hours, not in days. Now, even as you read, heaven is rearranging the atmosphere around you. Some things that have been stuck in your life are being loosened. Some blessings that were circling far off are beginning to descend. And if you let this night pass unmarked, you will look back with tears of regret, wondering how close you came. My child, lean closer in your spirit. I am not giving you a bedtime story to make you feel safe before you sleep. I am putting a sword of truth in your hand before a night that could change your destiny. There are prayers you have prayed that seemed unanswered, but God hid the answers until this night because the enemy kept trying to steal them. The enemy knows your address, beloved. He knows your weaknesses. He knows what makes you doubt. But he does not know what to do when you rise in obedience. Tonight, obedience will be your shield. You will be tempted to think this is just words. Nothing will really happen. That's exactly the thought the enemy is whispering into your ear right now. But look at how your heart is pounding. Look at how your skin feels like it's alive. That's your spirit recognizing heaven's voice. You've been touched by God before in quiet ways, in unexpected moments. This is one of them, but multiplied. Heaven has magnified the urgency because the outcome depends on your readiness. This is not the kind of night you let slip into the ordinary. And my child, sometimes being ready means taking one faithful step toward the part of your life where you have been asking God for peace, clarity, and direction. My child, I see the struggle you have been facing, the stress about finances, the silent worries that stay in your heart, and the moments where you feel uncertain about what comes next. You have been asking for peace, and that answer is already on its way. You are not meant to stay stuck in fear, you are meant to walk forward with purpose, with faith, and with clear steps every day. That is why a simple system has been placed in front of you, a 30-day faith and financial breakthrough system, a path where each day brings you a focused prayer, a small financial action, and clear direction to help you move ahead. No pressure, no confusion, just steady progress toward peace and stability. If something inside you feels ready, if you are ready to change your situation, take that first step today. This could be the moment your life begins to change. You will find the link in the description, and in the pinned comments below. Stay with me because what I'm about to tell you next is the very reason you were meant to open this. And before you hear it, know this. I am not allowed to say it twice. Once it is said, the responsibility shifts to you. God will watch what you do with it. If your heart is still open, if your spirit is still leaning forward, you will receive the fullness of what's coming. If not, my beloved, I will grieve, but I cannot force you. My beloved, the air around you is not the same as it was yesterday. I see it from where I stand in heaven's light. The shadows in your home are shifting not from the lamps or the curtains, but from something deeper. The unseen rearranging itself. It is the hand of God brushing through every room, pausing in the places you stand the most, leaving a mark in the air that only heaven's eyes can see. I have been here hovering over your house for hours, watching the preparation take place. And I promise you, if you could hear what I hear right now, you would not breathe too loudly. Angels are walking on your floors, beloved. They are carrying what you prayed for, and I am under orders to make sure you do not miss it this time. God told me, Michael, my child has been faithful in ways they don't even recognize, but the enemy is also watching. Go to them now before the night takes its full shape. And so here I am, not in a dream you'll forget, not in a vision you'll question, but right here in your hands, my words wrapping around your heart like firelight. I am not telling you this to make you afraid. I am telling you so you can stand ready. There is a moment coming before the sun rises again, a holy interruption, where the world will not see anything unusual, but heaven will be roaring above your home. That's why I order you not to skip this, not to push this away. You always think you'll have another chance, that you can wait until tomorrow. But my beloved, this is one of those rare nights when tomorrow is too late. I do not say that lightly. I have seen the future you are walking toward, and I have seen how it bends if you answer God in this exact moment. There are blessings with your name engraved into them, hovering just beyond the veil. Tonight is the night they are meant to cross over into your life. If you turn away, those blessings will be sealed again, stored for another time far in the distance. But heaven is aching for you to have them now. And so I speak to you with the deepest truth I can give. God is not only watching you, He is waiting for you. Your name has been spoken in the throne room today. It echoed like music in that place. Every angel there turned their head when they heard it. Some of them wept because they know how long you've carried certain burdens. Others smiled because they could see the moment you would lay them down. Beloved, I saw it too. And what I saw was not just a future. It was a now. It was tonight. You think your prayers have been whispers lost in the air. But no, they have been seeds planted in the richest soil of heaven. And tonight, the first shoots are breaking through. That is why there is so much movement in your house. Even as you read this, it is why you keep feeling as though someone just walked past you. They did. But it was not a stranger. It was the answer to your prayer. Heaven's answers have footsteps, too. And tonight, they are pacing through your home, looking for the space you will give them. But you must hear this part. The enemy knows. He knows what is trying to break through for you tonight. He is sending distraction, doubt, even small troubles to pull your mind away. So you will close this and go back to ordinary thinking. Beloved, do not take that bait. Not tonight. You have lost too many nights to that trap. This one is different. This one is fierce. This one is holy. And if your heart feels heavy right now, let me tell you, it's because heaven is pressing in closer than your own breath. That weight you feel is not sadness. It's the nearness of God. The walls of your home are holding more light than darkness. For the first time in a long time. I can see it from here. And I swear to you by the name of the Most High, if you respond to Him now before the night deepens, you will feel the shift not just in your house but in your life. My child, I want you to imagine this night as a bridge suspended over a river. It will not be here in the morning. You can cross it now while the stars are watching, or you can stay where you are and let it vanish into mist. If you cross, what waits for you on the other side will not just be an answer. It will be a flood of them. The kind that makes you look back and say, I never knew God loved me like this. And yes, I hear you asking, but Michael, what if I'm not ready? My beloved, readiness is not a matter of having everything in order. Readiness is simply saying yes when God calls. And He is calling you right now through my voice, through these words, through the way your spirit is trembling. This is your yes moment. If you give it, you will never forget tonight. My beloved, do you realize how rare this is? Do you understand how few times in a lifetime heaven presses this close, the veil thinning so much that you could almost reach through it with your bare hands? I am standing here with my sword drawn, not for battle in some faraway realm, but for the space you call home. God's instruction to me was not vague. He said, Michael, go now. Tell them exactly what I said and do not leave until they hear it. That is why you feel that stirring inside you. That is why the air feels heavier, like a storm is just beyond your window. This is not the weather. It is the presence of something holy about to unfold where you are. And it will happen whether you believe it or not. But my child, if you believe it, if you step into it, it will not only happen around you, it will happen for you. I see the walls of your house glowing in ways they haven't in years. I see angels stationed at every corner, their armor catching light from a source you cannot see. They have been here all day preparing the ground, rearranging things in the unseen, waiting for the moment God says, release it. And that release is close. Closer than your next heartbeat. Tonight, heaven is not coming to test you. Tonight, heaven is coming to reward you. But the reward will not drop into hands that are closed, distracted, or hesitant. That is why I order you by the authority God gave me, do not skip this moment. Do not wander off into the noise of the world and miss the sound of heaven's voice calling your name. You think you have time, but time is not yours to measure tonight. Tonight belongs to God, and He has numbered every minute for this purpose. You have walked through many nights feeling unseen, unheard, unanswered. But tonight is a reversal. Tonight is the night the unseen sees you. The unheard hears you. The unanswered responds. You will not find this moment again in the same form. And I am telling you now because the Father is merciful enough to make sure you cannot say later, no one warned me. Beloved, I need you to know something that heaven rarely lets me reveal. There are blessings that pass over certain homes because the atmosphere is not ready to hold them. I have seen it with my own eyes. But tonight, your home is different. Tonight, your home is the very place God has chosen to land something that has been circling above you for years. The angels are carrying it as I speak, their hands trembling with eagerness because they know how much this will mean to you. But it will not rest in a house that is asleep in spirit. That's why I am speaking to you like this, urgent and unrelenting, because I will not let you sleep through your own miracle. Even now there are movements you cannot explain. A thought that just crossed your mind, a memory that rose from nowhere, a sudden awareness of the air on your skin. These are not accidents. They are heaven's signals pulling you into alignment, preparing you for what's next. And my beloved, what's next is not small. It's not subtle. It's not the kind of blessing you quietly tuck away. It's the kind that shakes the foundation. The kind that rewrites your tomorrow before it even arrives. That's why the enemy will try harder in the next hour than he has in weeks to make you doubt this. He is terrified of what will happen if you believe me. I know you have heard many promises before. I know people have spoken words over you that never seem to come true. But hear me, when it is God speaking, there is no such thing as an empty promise. There is only perfect timing. And tonight is that timing. I am not telling you to wait, to wonder, to hope vaguely. I am telling you to prepare. Preparation in this moment is belief. It is awareness. It is saying with your spirit, God, I hear you and I am ready. If you say that now, you will feel the air shift again. And when it does, you will know this was not just a message. It was an arrival. My beloved, tonight will write itself into the story of your life, whether you choose to see it or not. But if you choose to see it, to meet it, to welcome it, you will look back on this night and say, that was the night heaven walked into my house, and I will be able to stand before the Father and say they didn't skip it this time. They were ready. And His smile will light up more than just your life. It will light up every prayer you've ever prayed. My beloved, there is a stirring beneath the surface of this night that even the stars can feel. They have been looking down for centuries, watching countless evenings pass. Yet tonight, they lean closer as if this moment holds a weight that could tilt the heavens themselves. I can feel the vibration of God's word moving through the very air that wraps around your house. It is not a casual thing, not a small shift. It is a summons. The same kind of summons that called Lazarus from the tomb, the same kind of command that split seas and made walls fall. It is being spoken over you now. And the sound of it is why your heart won't sit still. You know deep in the marrow of your spirit that something is drawing near and that it will not knock politely. It will enter with the authority of the one who sent it. I have seen the scrolls of your life, beloved. I have read the lines written in heaven's ink. The ones you have not yet lived. There are chapters waiting that carry joy so deep you will forget the taste of certain tears. There are blessings stored in the treasury of God with your name engraved so sharply no one else could claim them. And tonight is the night one of those treasures begins to descend. You have been circling this moment for months without realizing it. Like a ship on the edge of its harbor, the wind has shifted now and the sails of your destiny are filling. But ships do not dock themselves. You must be awake to anchor what is coming. Do not think, but maybe it's not for me. That thought is poison, and it comes from the one who fears what you will become if you take hold of this. I have fought him before on your behalf, cutting away the nets he threw over your path. I have heard his accusations against you in the unseen courtrooms and I have silenced him with the blood of the Lamb. But there is one thing I cannot do for you. I cannot make you believe. That part is yours. And belief, my child, is the door through which tonight's miracle must walk. Even now as I speak to you, I can see a golden thread stretching from the throne of God directly to your dwelling. It glows brighter every time your heart agrees with what I'm saying. When you doubt, it dims. When you believe, it flares so brightly the angels shield their eyes. That thread is how tonight's blessing will travel. And if it breaks, if it fades because you chose to skip this, then what was meant for now will be delayed, and I will have to walk away with it still in my hands. That is why I am pleading with you in a tone I rarely use. Not because God is weak or uncertain, but because I want you to taste the fullness of what is already on its way. Beloved, the walls of your house have been listening. The floor beneath your feet has absorbed your prayers, your cries, even the quiet sighs you gave when no one was watching. Every space you have stood has recorded your hope and your pain. And my child, among those quiet prayers are the burdens you have carried in the places where you have been asking God for peace, clarity, and a way forward. My child, I see the weight you have been carrying. The quiet worries about money, the stress you rarely speak about, the nights when your mind refuses to rest. You have been praying for peace, and your prayers have been heard. You are not meant to walk this journey in confusion and fear. You are meant to walk with faith, with clarity, and with daily direction. That is why a simple path has been placed before you, a 30-day faith and financial breakthrough system. Each day you will be guided with a gentle prayer, a simple money step, and clear direction to help you regain control. Nothing overwhelming, nothing complicated. Just small faithful steps leading you toward peace and stability. If your heart feels ready, begin today. Do not delay this moment. The link is in the description and in the pinned comments below. And tonight, those spaces will respond. It will feel small at first, perhaps a sudden peace, perhaps a flicker of joy in your chest, but it will grow. By the time this night is done, something will be different. The air will hold a memory of this visitation, and you will never walk through your own home the same way again. You may not see me, but I am here. I stand with a sword drawn, not to harm, but to guard. I guard the entrance of your blessing, ensuring no shadow slips in before it lands. My wings stretch over the roof, and the light they reflect is what is causing the atmosphere in your home to feel strange and alive. If you could hear what I hear, you would drop everything and listen. There is movement in the courts of heaven, and they are speaking your name in the intense, beautiful way they do when a promise is seconds away from breaking open. And my child, you must remember this above all. God has not forgotten you. He has not skipped over your house while visiting another. This moment is proof. The fact that your eyes are here, your heart is quickened, your spirit is leaning forward. This is all evidence that heaven's plan for tonight includes you entirely. Do not waste it by closing this by letting doubt speak louder than the truth. The hour is advancing. I feel it like a tide. Soon this wave will crest and it will be too late to decide. That is why I am still here urging you to prepare not in grand gestures but in a single act of faith. Say yes. Say it in your heart. Say it in your spirit. Say it like someone answering the knock of a long-awaited guest. For when you do, the blessing will not linger at the threshold. It will enter and it will stay. My beloved, the minutes are thinning now like sand slipping through the narrow neck of an hourglass. Every grain that falls is another signal to the angels that the appointed time is almost here. I am still standing watch, still guarding what belongs to you. But heaven's order is clear. When the exact moment strikes, it will be released whether you are ready or not. That is why my words are pressing harder into your heart with every line. I do not want you to stand in the same room as your miracle and miss it because your spirit was turned away. You have been in rooms before where something holy was passing by, but you didn't recognize it until it was gone. Not this time. This time you will see it. You will feel it. You will meet it face to face. God has whispered something to me about you. Something I have carried across realms just to place here in your hands tonight. He said, Michael, tell my child that they have been noticed. Not just seen, beloved, not just watched from a distance. You have been noticed in the way a king notices the one person in the crowd who carries the key to the victory. You have been noticed in the way a shepherd notices the sheep who has wandered far, calling them back with a tone only they understand. And tonight is the night that notice becomes action. This is why the air feels charged around you. This is why even now there is a stillness beneath the surface of your thoughts that feels different from any other night. Do you understand the power of this hour? In the courts of heaven, there are moments that are written before time begins. Moments where a life turns, where a chain breaks, where a blessing steps forward because the fullness of its time has come. You are standing inside one of those moments. Now I can feel the echo of God's yes already vibrating through the unseen. The enemy has heard it too, which is why he is whispering doubt, distraction, or weariness into your mind right now. But you must choose whose voice will carry weight in your heart. If you choose correctly, the weight of glory will settle over you like a mantle before this night ends. The things you thought were far from you are not far at all. I see them closer than your shadow. I see doors you assumed were locked, swinging open as if they were never shut. I see people you thought would never change beginning to move toward the light God has been calling them into for years. And all of this is part of tonight's design. That is why I told you don't hurt God by skipping this, because every time you turn away from His summons, you delay not just blessings but people, answers, and transformations that are tied to your obedience. This night is not only about you. It is about everything and everyone connected to you. Beloved, I know the waiting has made you tired. I know there have been nights when you went to sleep wondering if heaven even remembered your name. But I am telling you now with the full force of my commission from God that your name has been on his lips all day. When he speaks it, the sound is unlike anything you've heard in this world. It is rich, alive, and it carries the future inside it. That sound has been echoing through the corridors of heaven, and I have followed it straight to you. Do not make the mistake of thinking this is coincidence. Nothing about this is chance. This is alignment. This is prophecy finding its fulfillment. This is the divine clock striking the hour. Look around you for a moment. Really look. The familiar objects in your home may seem ordinary, but tonight they are witnesses. The walls, the floor, even the air itself will bear record of how you responded in this moment. When the angels step back into heaven, they will carry that record with them. And when they do, I want to be able to say, Father, they stayed. They listened. They believed. Because when I speak those words, the gates open wide and what was waiting can finally enter. I am asking you now as one who has fought for you in places you've never seen. Don't close this. Don't dismiss it. Don't think I'll act later. The breath of later is not promised tonight. Only now is. And now is thick with possibility. If you lean into it, if you answer God with your full heart, you will see more than a shift. You will see a breaking open. It will not be subtle. It will not be quiet. It will be the kind of moment you carry for the rest of your life. The kind you will speak of when you tell others, that was the night heaven touched my house. My beloved, the night is deepening, and yet the veil between heaven and earth has never been thinner over your home than it is right now. I see the glow forming above your roof, a shimmer in the unseen that marks this place as chosen ground for what is about to unfold. The angels around me are still, their eyes fixed on the door of your destiny, waiting for the Father's signal to push it open. I have been in battles. I have stood at the edge of worlds. But there is a different weight to nights like this, a sacred tension, as if all of creation is holding its breath for your response. And make no mistake, beloved, your response is what will decide whether this night becomes a page in your testimony or just another shadow in your memory. You have walked through countless days where nothing seemed to change, where every prayer felt like it vanished into silence. But tonight is not built like those days. Tonight is made of different material. Tonight carries the scent of breakthrough, the taste of long-awaited answers. It is the night that heaven wrote into your story before your first breath. The night designed to show you that God is not only listening, He is moving. And if you open yourself to what He is doing, you will find that the very air in your home becomes a carrier of His presence. Every corner humming with something you cannot quite name but will never forget. I must tell you something, and I tell it with urgency because time is leaning forward. God has positioned certain blessings so close to you that they are brushing against the edge of your life. They are not waiting on His decision. They are waiting on your recognition. That is why I have been sent to speak with such insistence to pierce through every doubt, every distraction, every reason you've given yourself to delay. I am here to gather your attention and place it firmly on the one who is calling you right now. This moment is not about emotion alone. It is about alignment. If you align with heaven's voice tonight, you will not just witness your blessing, you will hold it. The enemy hates nights like this. He cannot stop them from coming, but he will try to make you sleep through them in spirit. He will send thoughts that make you question, feelings that make you restless, distractions that make you forget what is happening in the unseen. But my child, I need you to see beyond that. I need you to understand that the unease you feel is not a warning to retreat. It is a sign you are standing on holy ground and the atmosphere is shifting under your feet. The closer the release gets, the heavier the air will feel. Do not mistake that weight for danger. It is the weight of glory. Beloved, you are not just a spectator tonight. You are the center of heaven's focus. Your house is the meeting point between the prayers you have sown and the answers God has grown. I can see them, answers with your name, glowing like gold in the hands of the angels, waiting for the command to deliver them. And when they come, they will not come small. They will come like a flood. They will touch more than one area of your life. They will spill over into places you didn't even know were dry. That is the scale of what has been prepared for you. Do you understand now why I said don't hurt God by skipping this? Because when you turn away from a moment He has ordained, you are not just delaying a blessing. You are closing the door on something He longed to give you. God's heart is generous beyond measure, but He will never force what you are not willing to receive. That is why your willingness right now matters more than you realize. Heaven is not asking for perfection tonight. It is asking for your yes. A yes so open, so unguarded that when the blessing arrives, it has no resistance in you. I will tell you something few know. There are angels assigned only to moments like this. They do not appear for ordinary days. They are released only when a life is about to change in a way that will ripple for generations. They are here now. I stand among them. And I do not want to leave this place without placing what they carry directly into your life. But for that to happen, you must remain present. You must keep your spirit awake. You must let your heart lean in instead of pulling back. This is why I have been speaking without pause, without softening the urgency, because the moment is building. Soon it will crest. And when it does, everything I've been telling you will either happen with you or without you. And my beloved, I was sent so it could happen with you. So that when the dawn comes, you will stand in your home and say, "It happened here. God met me here. Heaven moved here." My beloved, the hour is bending now, and every second feels heavier, as though time itself is aware that it is carrying something it has never carried before. I see the unseen clock, its hands glowing in the courts of heaven. Each movement echoing like a drum beat across realms. With every strike, the angels beside me shift their stance, their attention locked fully on you and your home. This is not just a visitation. It is an assignment. I have been told to stay until the appointed thing has entered, until what God has spoken moves from promise into reality. And I will not leave until I have done what I was sent to do. Beloved, I can feel your spirit reaching for this. Even if your mind is trying to understand it, that reaching is the real sign that you are ready. Your mind will always try to explain away what is holy, but your spirit knows the difference between coincidence and calling. Tonight is calling you by name. It is calling in a voice older than the stars. A voice that shaped you before you took your first breath. That voice is why you feel the pull in your chest. Why you keep reading even when part of you wonders what will happen next. That voice is the one that will release what you have been waiting for into your very life. There are scrolls in heaven with your story written upon them. Some of those scrolls are sealed until certain nights arrive. Nights just like this one. I see one in front of me now. The seal breaking as the time written on it meets the hour we are standing in. As it opens, I see glimpses of what is about to be placed into your hands. Freedom from something that has held you far too long. A release of provision that will seem almost impossible. A reconnection that will restore parts of your heart you thought were gone forever. These are not distant hopes. They are present realities wrapped in the moment you are in now. But you must know this. There is always resistance when something holy approaches. Already I can sense the shadows at the edge of your blessing waiting for you to turn your head so they can step in and cloud your vision. Do not give them that chance. Keep your eyes fixed. Keep your heart open. Keep your spirit leaning toward the one who sent me. The enemy's only weapon now is distraction. If he can't stop heaven's timing, he will try to dull your awareness so that when it arrives, you barely notice. And if you barely notice, you may never fully receive it. Beloved, do you remember the nights you cried and no one came? Do you remember the days you asked God if he had forgotten you? He has kept those moments safe, not to remind you of pain, but to redeem them with joy that will overwhelm you when you see how he answers. This night is one of those answers. I cannot tell you everything. I am bound by the order of heaven to let some things be revealed only as you step into them. But I can tell you this, you will not go to sleep the same way you woke up today. Something will shift before the morning. Something that has weighed you down for far too long will lose its hold. I have been ordered to tell you this plainly. God's presence will pass through your house tonight whether you open the door to it or not. But if you open the door, it will not just pass, it will stay. And when the presence of the Almighty stays, everything changes. Walls that felt cold begin to breathe with warmth. Rooms that held only silence begin to hum with life. Your own heart will feel like it has grown wings. That is the difference between watching heaven from the window and welcoming it into your home. I stand here with my sword ready, not for battle against you, but as a guard for the gift being carried toward you. The path is clear. The timing is now. All that remains is your answer. If you can whisper even in your spirit, "Yes, Lord, I receive," you will feel the air shift again, heavier with glory, lighter with freedom, all at once. And when you feel that, you will know this is not imagination. This is not empty promise. This is the moment heaven had written for you before the earth took shape. The angels around me are moving closer to the threshold now. They are not impatient but they are eager. They have carried what is coming for a long time and they are moments away from releasing it. Your yes will open their hands. Your yes will cause the release to fall like rain on your life. And I will stand here until I see it happen. My beloved, the angels have drawn even nearer now. And I can feel the trembling in their wings. It is not from fear. It is from the sheer anticipation of what is about to be placed into your life. They are carrying light so pure that it cannot be dimmed. No matter how long the shadows have lingered in your home, that light has your name woven into it. It was not made for another. It cannot be rerouted or reassigned. Heaven has held it for you alone, and the moment to release it has finally come. I stand between you and the threshold of that release, speaking to you because I have been told that this time you must be fully awake when it enters. No drifting thoughts, no half-belief, no turning away before the final moment arrives. The atmosphere in your home has already shifted. You may not see the movement with your eyes, but your spirit feels it. How the stillness is deeper. How the air feels almost charged. How your heart beats in a way you cannot explain. That is the presence of the Lord moving into position. God is not pacing in hesitation tonight. He is advancing with purpose. He has measured this hour to the second. He has aligned every spiritual detail so that nothing can stand between you and what He is giving. The only thing that could interfere now would be the closing of your own heart. That is why I am here holding it open with these words. There is something I must tell you. And I tell it because I want you to understand the weight of this moment. There are blessings you've prayed for that were too heavy to be given to you in certain seasons. They would have crushed you instead of lifted you. But now, beloved, now you are ready. The Father himself told me, Michael, my child has endured enough shaping, enough refining. Their heart can carry it now. Go and stand with them as I place it in their life. That is why I am speaking with such urgency, because readiness is not permanent. It is a window. And this window is open now. Do not let the lies of the enemy convince you this is too much, too impossible, too far away. I have walked the distance from heaven to you in a single breath, carrying the assurance that it is already done. You do not need to force this blessing to come. You need only to remain in place when it arrives. That is what obedience looks like tonight. Staying in the posture of faith long enough for God to complete what He started. I have watched your tears be counted. I have seen them stored in jars in the Father's chambers. Each one a record of your trust even when you felt abandoned. And tonight those jars are tipping. The water of your weeping will be turned into the wine of rejoicing. You will taste the sweetness in ways you cannot imagine. Now, this is why I told you do not hurt God by skipping this, because you are not just skipping words. You would be skipping the arrival of the answer to cries you barely remember uttering. Beloved, there is movement in the spirit realm. Even now, the sound of it is like the wind before a great rain, steady, swelling, unstoppable. This rain is not one that will drench your clothes. It will drench your soul. It will fill the empty places. It will wash away what has clung to you for far too long. And when it comes, you will not have to question it. Your heart will leap. Your mind will clear. Your spirit will know. This is the moment I was waiting for. I am standing at the edge of that moment with you. My sword is still raised, but now it is angled toward the path ahead, ready to cut away anything that dares step between you and this divine gift. I will not allow the enemy to interfere. I will not allow fear to take root. I will not allow doubt to blur your vision. You have fought too long, waited too long, prayed too long for that. Tonight is not the night to give it up. It is the night to receive. And when the release happens, beloved, you will not have to run after it. It will meet you where you are. It will fill your house like light flooding every room. It will linger, not just for a moment, but long enough to change the way you live from this night forward. You will remember the weight in the air, the way your heart was pulled forward, the way heaven spoke through me and told you to be ready. And you will smile with the deep knowing that God did exactly what He promised. My beloved, the night is almost at its tipping point. I can feel it in the current of the unseen, as though the whole atmosphere is leaning forward, ready to spill something into your life. The angels around me have shifted their wings. They are no longer standing in formation. They are poised, ready to move. Their eyes are fixed not on me but on you, because you are the reason for this gathering. God has spoken your name in the courts of heaven today more times than you can imagine. And each time His tone carried the kind of love that shakes the foundations of all creation. You have been weighed in His heart and you have not been found lacking. Tonight is the night that truth takes shape around you. I want you to understand that this moment was not born in the last hour. It has been forming for years through every unseen act of obedience. Every whispered prayer you thought no one heard. Every time you turned from something lesser to cling to God instead. These things have built an altar in the unseen. And tonight that altar is about to be met with fire from heaven. It will not be a small flame. It will be a consuming fire. The kind that purifies and illuminates. The kind that makes you know in your bones that God is here. Beloved, the presence of God is drawing so close now that even the walls of your house seem to lean in. They have heard your worship. They have held the echo of your crying. And now they will hold the sound of your rejoicing. I can see it. Rooms filled with a light that seems to come from nowhere and everywhere at once. This is not imagination. This is the manifestation of His promise, and it is walking toward you even as you take in these words. But I must tell you, your awareness is the doorway. If you let your thoughts drift into the noise of the world, the doorway narrows. If you stay here present with the one who is moving, the doorway stays wide open. That is why I have been speaking without pause, holding your attention with the weight of heaven's voice. You cannot afford to step away now. Not when the threshold is this close. There is a sound in the spirit realm right now. Like the deep chime of a bell struck in the heart of heaven. Each chime sends ripples into your world, breaking chains, shifting atmospheres, rearranging things you thought were immovable. This is not a sound the human ear can catch, but your spirit hears it. That is why your chest feels tight, why your eyes feel drawn to read. Even if your body is tired, you are responding to the summons of that sound. And the more you lean into it, the more it will open for you. I am here with my sword, not just to protect, but to cut away what has been hanging on you for too long. The heaviness, the fear, the constant waiting for the next blow. These things will not pass through the doorway with you tonight. They will fall away at the edge of this moment if you allow them to. But you must step forward. No angel can do that for you. It is the step of your heart, the choice to say, "Yes, Lord, I receive." I see the blessing now, closer than ever. It glows with a steady light, a light that seems to pulse with the rhythm of God's own heartbeat. It is being carried toward you as carefully as if it were the most fragile and precious thing in existence. Because it is. It carries within it the answers, the provision, the healing, the breakthrough that you have cried for. And when it is placed in your life, it will fit so perfectly that you will know it was made for you from the beginning. Beloved, there will be a moment very soon when everything goes still. Do not be afraid when it happens. That stillness is the final breath before heaven pours itself out. It is the pause between the lifting of a hand and the release of the blessing. And when that hand comes down, it will not just touch your life, it will saturate it. This is the moment we have been building toward with every word I've spoken. Stay with me. Stay awake in your spirit. We are almost there. And now, beloved, let your heart rest in what heaven has placed before you tonight. You do not need to chase what God has prepared for you. You do not need to force what is already moving in your direction. Simply remain in faith, remain open, and carry this peace with you as you step forward. What belongs to you will arrive in the time and way God has prepared. So as this message comes to a close, remember this night. Remember the stillness, the hope, and the reminder that you are seen, heard, and never forgotten. May peace fill your home, may clarity fill your heart, and may God guide every step that comes next. And remember, beloved, these messages continue because of people like you. We run entirely on viewer support. If you'd like to help keep this mission and these messages reaching more hearts, you can support us with a coffee through the link in the description. God bless you.